Hey everyone, Cody from Mactelecom Networks. In this video, we're going to be looking at another internet backup solution from Ubiquiti. We already have a couple 5G backups available to us, but this one is a little unique, and that is the U5G Backup. Now this uses the 5G Redcap, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in this video. But the first thing, let's take a closer look at the U5G Backup. This is the U5G Backup, and you could tell it's a very nice looking device with the slim profile. It's this white long antenna, and on the front we have a little small LCM, and it says UniFi 5G on it. On the bottom of the device we have our PoE in, which will give this power, and that is going to be used for our management, and we also have a SIM port. You could also do eSIM with this, and we have our reset button. On the U5G Backup, there are two embedded omnidirectional cellular antennas. There's also a bunch of different mounting options that come with it, so let's go over that. They give you a mount with the sticky pad on the back, which you would be able to put on your wall or put onto your window. It comes with the spare adhesive, and then the one that I'm going to be using is the table stand, as I could have this fairly close to my window. The nice thing about this 5G backup solution, you could plug it into any PoE port. You don't need to have it going into your WAN port. It could be sitting off of any switch. So if your firewall is in the basement, but you have better reception upstairs, well, you could put it into a port upstairs, and this will perfectly work for you. On the back, this is actually magnetized, and this is a metal stand-up bracket. So let's get it connected. And just like that, we have it connected into our table stand. Just to give you some perspective on the size, I have the U5G Max sitting beside this, and you can tell that this is a lot thinner of a profile, even though it stands a little bit taller. Now this is going to go at faster speeds than the U5G Backup, and we'll go over that. Let's quickly go over the differences between 5G Redcap and standard 5G. So 5G Redcap is a modern cellular standard designed to bridge the gap between our legacy 4G LTE and high performance 5G. You'd see right here that standard 5G focuses on extreme gigabit speeds, whereas Redcap prioritizes superior reliability and low latency. So this is going to be great for businesses that just need to keep online and they don't need crazy speeds. And another great thing about this device, it's only $99 USD. I have the U5G Backup plugged into my network, and it's going down to one of my network switches, providing PoE to it, and we're not plugged into any WAN ports at all. I don't have my SIM in this, and it shows that we need to insert a SIM, and it will also show us the carriers that are available in my area. I've added a SIM into the U5G Backup, and you can see that I'm on the carrier of TELUS, and I'm getting 4G LTE. It's probably the area I am. It is pretty rural. But the next thing that we need to do, we need to get this adopted, and it's the exact same adoption process as you do with any other unified device. So let's click to adopt. The adoption process is now completed, and you can see the U5G Backup is sitting on my ECS switch, and that is giving it power. We can see in SIM 1 that we're on TELUS Mobility, and it's giving us -90 dBm, and our eSIM is disabled. I'm not going to be doing any eSIM in this video. If you know a good eSIM provider, or if you know a data-only provider in Canada, let me know. We have our IMEI, and then we have our eSIM EID. Scrolling down on the device, we could see that we have our device version, we have the uptime, we have the load average, the IP, and then the MAC address. And then we have different SIM information. So for SIM 1, our status is active, our carrier is TELUS, and our APN, you could see that here. The type of network that it's on right now is LTE, and then we could see our receive, and we could see our transmit. And we could also see the data usage on it. This is also going to tell us our parent device and different statistics based on that. If we go over under our insights, we could see the different history of what was happening, and then we could see the system statistics, which will be our CPU and our memory usage. Under our settings, we could give this a name, and we could do a device tag, and then we have our cellular. So we have SIM, and then we have our eSIM, we could see our carrier, and we have roaming. So connect to other networks when your carrier signal is unavailable. Additional charges may apply. We could set a data rate, or we could use a custom APN. APN settings are detected automatically. Optionally use custom values. And then we have our IP settings, which is pretty much the same as every other unified device. This part is new within the UniFi network application, where we could do power and resiliency, and I'm going to turn that on. So this is our device supervisor, monitor power heartbeat, and automatically recover silent devices. So we're going to apply those changes. On my dashboard, we could see that we have two different internet connections, Internet 1, and then we have UniFi 5G, which is connected to TELUS Communications at minus 82 dBm. You'd see a bit of throughput going through. Let's go ahead and do an ISP speed test. This is on 4G. So we'll do ISP speed test and hopefully we get decent speeds. All right, and we were getting 28 megabits per second down by 21 up, which is decent enough for backup internet if my primary goes down. That really is all that I would need. I'd still be able to check my emails and do other things. Again, this was on 4G. I'm not sure if we have a 5G tower around me. But let's take a look at a couple other things that we could do with this. So we could go over to our settings wheel, and within our networks, we could specify if we go over to failover, which networks will use this cellular connection. So of course, our default is going to use this. You could turn this off if you wanted. I would leave my default on. Or we have our identity Wi-Fi. Do we want that to be on the cellular? Maybe we don't want that, so we're just going to uncheck, and then we'd apply the changes. And then we have my IoT, which I'm going to use for the UniFi cellular internet backup. We could also do things if we go over to our objects, and we could do policy-based routing. Say we wanted our IoT devices to always go over the cellular connection. Well, we could do that. So we're going to click on networks. I'm going to select my IoT network, and then we're going to click over on route. From route, we're going to specify which interface or VPN tunnel that we want it to go over, and we're going to do the UniFi 5G, and then I'm going to add that in there. So any connected device on that IoT network is going to route through that cellular connection. The next thing that we need to test is the actual failover. So you could see that we have our WAN mode, and it's only failover only. I'm not going to do load balancing with this. My primary is Rogers cable. That is a cable connection going at about a gigabit speed. And then my secondary, the failover, is this new UniFi 5G backup. We could also create custom SLAs for our WAN connections if we'd like. Right now, it's just turned on by auto, but it says monitor the quality of the internet connections by testing reachability to verification servers. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring open a command prompt, and we're just going to ping out to Cloudflare. So I'll go ping 1.1.1.1, and then we're going to go -t. To see if this actually works, I'm not going to physically go downstairs and unplug it, but we're going to disable the port that my Rogers communication is plugged into. So let's go ahead. I'll show you this. It is still up and running, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to disable that internet connection and apply the changes. Hopefully this doesn't take too long to fail over. All right, and you do see a request timeout. So we did lose one packet, but now we are on that TELUS communication cell signal that's going through the UniFi 5G backup, which is really great. We're getting pretty good latency as well. So we're at about 25 milliseconds up to about 40. So that is workable as a backup solution. And that's going to be my video on the U5G backup. There's not a whole ton else to talk about it. It is a nice backup device for a really affordable price at $99. Now, the more expensive thing is going to be finding a good carrier that will do data only for you for this backup. This is a really nice device, and it wouldn't be an eyesore if you were putting it in your living room or maybe your office like me. I really do like the slim design that they went with. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the new U5G backup. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. If you're new here, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. All right, thanks.